Welcome back to my Let's Play for Moemon, my run through the game with normal Pokemon. Yeah, we're not going to be using Snorlax this episode. Yeah, I figured we can get away without using the laxatives to make Koka shit himself. At least, hopefully we can make that work. We'll see how it goes. Though I got confidence, in the team, At least as it currently stands. I still need to go back and catch, some stuff in the Safari Zone, because I'm going to probably need it at some point. I need Taurus's raw power, to do some powerful earthquakes later, I'm sure. Now let's let Euphemia do her thing here. Admittedly, the spear probably would have been better for dealing with these drowsies, just because, well, Aerial Ace is equally powerful, but used by Pokemon meant to attack, yeah, I guess I'll switch out. Let the spear do its work, Never stop a good spear. It's always a bad idea. We must plunge our beak into the enemy as hard as possible, after all. Just go away, Drowsy. Ah, that level difference. I didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference, actually. Darn. If only we had access to Drill Peck, but we're not going to learn that for quite a while yet. If only we hadn't evolved. They'll get into level 40 for you evolve Sparrow's kind of insane, Like, we're gonna wait till we're level 40. I mean, I did that in one run. But that was in Gen 2 where I had, I could use Experience Share. Sparrow I'd gotten out of a trade, it's meant to be temporary because they gave it to you to go deliver a message, but I just kept it. Which is kind of hilarious. They just let you, steal someone's Pokemon. They're like, you should deliver this message. Like, I'm just stealing your Sparrow and not giving it back. I'm like, but Sparrow's not even that good. I'm like, but it has Drill Peck, the move of the gods. It's all I need. Like, so it's mine now. So that part, I'm probably gonna have to head out after I get past everybody. At least the necessary targets, which is kind of annoying. Yes, Ninja have a long history of using animals. Yeah, I think that's more ninja dogs, so why don't any of you guys use Growliths? Like, seriously. I think some of them would have, like, a Growlithe be like, it's my ninja dog! Or a ninja cat, bust out a Persian. Like, why a snake? That's usually something you think more of the Middle East with, snake charmers. Not usually something I associate with, ninjas. I mean, they might use poisons, but I would expect them, not to use it from carry the snake around itself to do that. Okay, we'll let Titania out. The Queen of the Fairies has just gotta deal with this thing with its psychic powers. Well, that sucks. Looks like I can't be poisoned now. And the rest of this thing's moveset kinda sucks. Like, oh no, it screeched at me. But I can always switch out to get away from that. Well, that takes care of Arbok. Queen of Fairies is not pleased with her update, but, whatever. I know, we're taking a risk here leaving out, Titania, but screw it. I'll try and get that Ice Beam in. Come on. Not even one-shotted. Apparently I need more power. But I can only get that from more levels at this point. Okay, that takes care of that mess, at least. Yes, level 30. Another Arbok? Well, you can't really do any worse than you have at this point. I mean, I guess I could technically send someone out to, like, hit with a Feather Dance and lower its attack power, but I'm not super worried about that. Oh, now it's using special attacks? Like, that's undermining what you did to me, man. Don't lose your nerve now. Come on, just one more. Probably should have stuck to the bite strategy, like trying to paraflinch me without throwing in the confusion, because Arbok doesn't really have an option to do that. Oh, ooh. Like, what was that? Supposed to sound like a wounded dog? You don't have a ninja dog, so knock it off. Now turn away, man. That guy likes to stare a lot. He's like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to move. I'm like, I'm waiting for you to move. I don't want to make eye contact. Especially forced eye contact, man. We're supposed to keep our distance right now. There's a Poke pandemic going on. Like, any Pokemon that gets near me gets knocked out. It's terrible. And then some of them just die. It's awful, man. Boom. Well, now we're back up on our feet. Probably should get back in the gym. Oh, well, at least this is still more enjoyable than Pokemon Hunter. The developer tried to make a regular RPG with Pokemon. The problem is, it just doesn't work too well. Because the battles tend to be a bit longer and more boring than they should have been. Okay. Well, I think we got some potions on hand, so we can heal after this fight. What do you descend from? I don't know, French people? My family doesn't really keep track of that stuff. It's not important. Seriously, just because your ancestors were good something doesn't mean you'll be. It's not in the blood or anything. Well, wing attack. I know it's not going to knock it out, but I can hope it meditates. Oh, critical hit. Never mind, it did knock it out. It shouldn't have, but it did. Hypno. Ah, man. It's going to be even more tanky than Drowsy. Why are there Hypnos in a poison gym anyway? Like, of all the Pokemon I expect to be here, this is not one of them, right? Like, in what world is Hypno poison type? Like, why is it a poison psychic gym? Is it the hint at the trouble to come? Because we still have to deal with, Sabrina at some point. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah. Just go away, will you? Well, we can use a super potion, right? Yep. Okay. Now we're gonna switch up who's in lead. Titania's not gonna be strong enough to deal with everything that's coming our way. And honestly, I'm willing to use up some rare candies at the moment. This is a bit of a waste, I'll admit, but I'm willing to go up one more level just to be a bit on the safer side. Yes, I do. Of course, I imagine he's referring more to the character, not to the player, because the player can be, quite old at this point. After all, there are dedicated fans of the Pokemon universe. And some of them are very obsessive, man. Okay, Psychic. Okay, that's good. Darn it. That's kind of messed with my plans a little bit. But I did want Koga to waste a Hyper Potion on, his coughing, so it's fine. I mean, the plan's only been somewhat interrupted, not totally interrupted. Okay. Muck, eh? Well, we're gonna send out Euphemia. This is gonna be a mess. Feather Dance. I want to lower this thing's attack stat. I know it's gonna minimize itself, but if I can lower its attack stat, it'll be a bit easier for the spear to deal with this thing using Aerial Ace. Okay, we're gonna have to switch out now. At some point, it's probably gonna throw Toxic at us, but we do have one full Restore on hand, so I'm not super worried about that. Yeah, keep minimizing yourself. It is absolutely meaningless at this point. X speed's not gonna help. X attack would have been better, but I don't have any of those on hand right now. And I don't trust Leer to connect at this point. So we're just gonna have to Aerial Ace through it. X attack would have been better because I could have raised my own attack stat to get around, Muck's attempts to, disable me here. Of course, my biggest fear is gonna be getting poisoned in this fight. Gosh darn it. At least it's just regular poison. But I already knew Koga had another Hyper Potion on hand, so we're gonna have to hit this thing like another 4 times. Not that I don't have the points for it, it's just tedious. Especially when combined with Sludge. Because I don't really have a way to dodge that. Okay, I'll use my full restore. After all, I can buy more of those later. For now, I just gotta keep the spear in here, because this thing's too evasive for me to try and kick it out now with Whirlwind. Whirlwind's not guaranteed to hit after all, so I gotta make sure this thing goes down now. Gosh darn it. That poison status is getting really annoying, Koga. Just trying to put time limits on my Pokemon. And I do not appreciate it. Okay. Well, that'll help out. Coughing, eh? Well, we'll send Titania out to deal with coughing. Wheezing is gonna be probably its own nightmare. I'll probably have to feather dance it just so I can avoid getting blown up. I'm not gonna sing on this thing. I can't waste time. I gotta take it out quickly as possible. Oh, it decided to blow itself up, huh? Gosh darn it. I didn't think he was gonna do that early in the fight. I thought for sure it'd wait until, you know, it was low on health, but I guess Koga's like, I know what's coming, like, I'm just blowing it up now. Like, okay. Like, that's not a good way to win, but you do you, man. Okay, another feather dance. Drop those attack stages. And of course Euphemia got poisoned. We're gonna have to antidote and probably try and hyper potion on my luck. Great. I don't even know if I have an antidote. Oh, I have one more left. Great. There's no on my luck, I'm gonna get hit with poison again, right? Okay, let's go in there and use up my last hyper potion. Okay, now we're back up to full health. I guess it's time to start trying to whack this thing to death. This is gonna take a while. I forget Koga can be this tough, you know, if you don't have the moves to overpower him directly, and like Lefable is just too low level. I'm gonna have to level grind it at some point in my favorite grind spot. But to do that, I'm gonna have to get back to, you know, the previous city. But that takes care of wheezing. Would prefer doing this without using items, though. It's freaking status effects. Yes, surf outside battle, and take this too. Yep, toxic. Which I'll just slap on something, I bet. Maybe. I always think about putting toxic on something and then not doing it. Because, you know, toxic is just one of those moves. I'm just like, that's super dickish, but it could be effective on the right Pokemon. Problem is, for something to be good, toxic basically has to way to buff both of its defense stats. Because it's going to have to sit there for a long time, slowly killing the enemy. So being able to nerf, you know, their accuracy and stuff like that, you know, is crucial. Yep. But I can only use Toxic like 10 times before it's done, so it's not something you can really use to wipe out more than like 2 teams. And that's assuming you land every Toxic, which isn't guaranteed to happen. Well, that'll do for this episode. Next time, you know, we'll at the Cinnabar Island, you know, a surf from Pallet Town, or, you know, we'll go after Silphco, though. I'm betting we'll go after Cinnabar Island, because we can probably teach some of our Pokemon surf and just ride the wave to victory. I mean, that'll be quite easy, though I think I might take a break from working on Moemon to go work on some of the others, because, let's face it, there's a few other Pokemon runs that deserve updates around now, right? Till next time, then. See ya.